Just injury updates, if you wouldn't mind, on ahead of Monday.
To be honest, everything's all right as it was. Couple of knocks and niggles, a little bit coming out of the game that you'd expect. But Patrick's back, working. Well, no, he's not back. He's working his way to being back. So I don't want to get ahead of that one. But he's certainly in making good progress and back closer to training with us, which is positive. So that's good news.
Lenny, is he be back Monday?
We're still working on that one. So there's a possibility, but at this stage it's not 100% sure.
The cushion you've built to 6 now has naturally led people to look ahead to the summer, whether that be signings or your own future. You've obviously done a fantastic job since arriving in January. I mean, how much would you love to take the role beyond the summer?
I've said it many times. I enjoy being here. You know, I enjoy the role I'm in. We've had some good results and we're in decent shape. I think there's a lot to go. We still want to keep improving. You know, there's layers that we want to get to. Really, I'll see. You know, I'll see. I keep saying the same things in front of you every week. You know, there's only so much I can say in terms of that. But I've said it many times again. I enjoy being here. I love being here. It's a real privilege to be in the position I am, but thriving with the responsibility that we got.
When are you expecting clarity?
I'm not sure, to be honest. And it's genuinely it's not something in terms of deadlines that I'm really chasing. I think it'll become clear when it's going to become clear, and I'm here at the moment to help the team and help the club get results. And at the moment we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We can keep pushing and getting better. So really, that's genuinely all I'm focused on right now.
Afternoon, Michael. You talk about enjoying the role so far, and I know there's a lot of football to go as well, but so far, what have you enjoyed most about your return so far? Being a player for so long, has any part of the job surprised you?
I don't necessarily think surprised. Kind of been here for quite some time and seen quite a lot. Some ups and some downs. So you kind of experience helps you a lot in situations, you know. So I wouldn't say being surprised by it. Working with the players is what I enjoy, you know, and that's a big kind of passion of helping them develop and then ultimately getting results and sharing with the supporters. You know, when you get important wins and big wins and you have moments to enjoy them moments, it's what we're all here for, right, in the end. So you've got to make the most of them as well.
Just on terms of the job long term, when it is brought up outside the walls of Carrington, sceptics kind of bring up Ollie's time at the club in terms of comparisons to your term at the moment. Just wonder your thoughts on that comparison, but also, do you find maybe that discussion sometimes disrespectful to maybe your own development as a coach over the last few years, but also to a good friend in Ollie as well?
I don't think it's disrespectful. I think I've got the utmost respect for him. He's a close friend of mine, so I worked closely with him when he was here. So I was quite attached to that, and I thought we did a lot of good things really, and became close. And in the end, obviously, it changed and it went a different direction. That's football. I think comparisons you could compare to all sorts of different situations and managers and coaches and teams over the years. It just depends on what you want to choose to compare, but it's irrelevant really. It really is, and that's not a negative or a positive. It doesn't really have any link at all. I think we're a different team now, irrespective of me, who's in charge. It's a different team, it's a different time, so I don't really think comparisons literally make any difference at all.
Can I ask you about Bruno? He's many people's favourite to be player of the season, and in terms of his attacking stats, he's a mile ahead of pretty much everybody else in terms of goals created, certainly. So I'm just wondering, in terms of, if you can explain to us, since you've been in here when it all seemed to change, exactly what you've facilitated or the club's facilitated to push him to those levels again.
Well, certainly personally, I think giving Bruno the platform to go and perform, like all the players, you know, I think we try to create the structure and a team set up really to try and bring out the best of everyone within that. There's obviously limitations in terms of everyone's got to sacrifice a little bit for the good of the team. But for me, I like seeing Bruno in attacking positions with a little bit of freedom. He obviously again plays for the team, and he's a big responsibility within that. And I thought he did that ever so well, especially on Saturday without the ball and the defensive work that he did. So he's got big responsibility within that. But trusting him. You know, he's a very good player. He sees things. He's creative. He's got a really good brain. He's a big part of the group as well, and a big influence. So a lot of it's in trust and trying to put him in a position where we think he can make the biggest difference, really.
I was going to ask you about the various qualities that he's got. Is there any particular that have impressed you since you've come in, now that you've seen it at closer quarters, and why?
I've known Bruno a long time and worked with him when I was here, when he came to the club. So I wouldn't, again, it hasn't surprised me. I knew exactly what he could bring. I think over time you kind of evolve, and experience helps, and you can certainly see that he's grown as well, and in a real positive way. So he's just a big influence. He's had a big impact, and he's playing ever so well at the moment. So we're delighted with that.
We're very aware of their strengths and what we need to be aware of. That's obviously a lot. They've got some magnificent players that we'll really need to try and keep quiet, I suppose, and tactically be prepared in a way where we affect them in the way we need to, both with and without the ball. But it's an amazing game for us.
It's an amazing game for us too. One of the standout games to end the weekend, both chasing Europe, Manchester United, Brentford. Amazing.
Both managers doing extremely well at the moment. Michael going into United has given them a real uplift and got them into those Champions League positions, which I thought was impossible a couple of months ago. Keith Andrews, I voted yesterday the League Managers Association Manager of the Year for me, this fella.
Yeah.
Brentford sold all their goals last summer. They sold all the assists. And this fella coming in as a rookie manager and done the job he has, absolutely incredible.
I hope we didn't get you into any trouble with making that announcement there, Stuart.
That was just my personal vote. I'm not suggesting he's won the trophy. I'm saying that was my vote.
Exclusives here on Team Talks. Clinton, just the fixture itself, both sides chasing Europe. It's not something, as Stuart had just said, we'd have been saying about Manchester United a couple of months ago, and it's certainly not something people would have said about Brentford at the start of the season.
No, I got to hold my hand up. I thought Brentford would be struggling at the bottom of the table, losing Thomas Frank and Buema, Vissart, Norgard, the captain. I thought they'd be struggling big time, but credit to Keith Andrews. I think he's done a fantastic job, and the job Michael Carrick's done. Ruben Amorim must be at home gutted because he had the players. He's not changed much. What he's doing is playing the players in the right position and getting the best out of a group of players. Playing Bruno in the 10, which is his best position, and Kobe Menu in there. And look at the job he's done at the moment. United fans a few months ago would never have thought they'd be in the Champions League position, and Brentford in ninth got a great opportunity to get into them European places. So on Monday night, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it really is. Brentford 10 points behind Manchester United there. Let's talk about Man United, though, because they had to get back to winning ways against Chelsea. They had a little bit of struggles. Do we consider that to be just a blip, a wobble? What would you call it?
Yeah, listen, it's a long old season, but I think United have got their tails up, no doubt about that. They're flying at the moment. This goal was magnificent. Once again, the supply line of Fernandes, he's been sensational. And I'm not just talking about recently when the uplift has come from United. I'm thinking the whole season when they really needed a focal point. He has been that person. He cajoles players around him. I watch him play. We moan in football that there's not enough personality on a football pitch. He's got personality. Like him or loathe him, he's got personality and he affects the game.
Yeah. You mentioned kind of before this upturn in form for United. I'm sorry to mention this again, Clinton, but the Crystal Palace game is an example of how he sometimes could turn the game on its head on his own.
Yeah, you don't need to apologise. He was outstanding against Crystal Palace, and he's been brilliant this season. I think if Man United were maybe going for the title, or he could be Player of the Year. I think the assist that he's done this season, Stuart's right. You can moan about his the way he throws his arms in the air. That's his frustration to have players on his level. But for me, in that position, name me a better player in that position in the Premier League at the moment that's getting the numbers that Bruno Fernandes is. Timing of the pass, everything about him. He must be a joy to play with, isn't he, Stu?
He certainly is, and I'll tell you where he's got a good dynamic as well with Cunha.
Yeah.
A lot of his assists, Cunha's got on the end of it to score. They've got a real good understanding between them. Passes like that are absolutely magnificent. You know, he made it look so easy. And he's telling players what to do. Look, he's waving him on. He's giving him a clue where to run. I mean, that's just great football. It's great captaincy in many ways.
Stuart, we know your favourite for manager of the season now. Thanks again for sharing that with us.
More than welcome.
Is he your favourite for player of the season?
No, I think he'll be in the top 6. I would certainly put him in the top 6 for what he's done. I think Szoboszlai, if you want some names, Szoboszlai at Liverpool's been outstanding.
I mean, give it to us if you want to.
I think 3 Arsenal players have been outstanding as well, in Raya, Gabriel and Rice. Yeah.
Your player of the season or in the top 6, like Stuart says?
He'll be in my top 2.
Ooh. But he's not 2?
He might be 1, he might be 2. I'm not giving exclusives. I'm told to keep my mouth closed.
I'm an open book, see? he gives nothing away.
I thought you were going to get the lyric, top 2, but I'm not 2.
No, to be fair, he'd be in the top 3. I think it's out of him, Rice and Gabriel. And David Raya, I understand, top 4, but I think him, Rice or Gabriel would be one of mine.
So what stands out there is 18 assists. He's too shy of the record held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. Do we see him breaking that this season with 5 games left? Stuart?
I would say yes.
Yeah,
I mean, bear in mind the company is in De Bruyne and Henry.
Wow.
2 of the best to ever grace the Premier League. Incredible. And I think we've just had an insight in there. See, he doesn't give much away. If it's his birthday, we wouldn't have had that chocolate cake, would we? You know, I'm a sharer. This man isn't.
That's a mic drop from Stuart. Can we move on? Brilliant.
Thank you, Stuart, for providing the cake or providing the birthday so that we could enjoy the chocolate cake.
You're more than
Once
welcome.
again, happy birthday. Bruno Fernandes, is he going to break the record for you?
Yeah, I think he'll break it. I think he's phenomenal. And you're right, and Stuart just alluded to it. The company that he's in, De Bruyne and Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry, one of the best for me, outstanding. But Bruno's numbers are fantastic. I think he's a top player. Can go to any club and play. I rate him that highly. So, yeah, I think he will break that record for sure.
Yeah, there you go, confirmation. De Bruyne, Henry, Mesut Ozil, and then Bruno Fernandes.
There's some names in there, isn't there?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
De Bruyne again, Frank Lampard, Fabregas, and Mo Salah. So he's level with all the players below him on 18. Michael Carrick gets the position full time for you guys?
100% for me. I think he's been outstanding. He's come in and he's been sensible. He's come in. Maguire couldn't get a game, Mainu couldn't get a game, and all of a sudden he's just put, round pegs in round holes, players in the team that he can trust, and let the flair players go and win the game for him and be hard to break down and hard to beat, and all of a sudden they flourished. It's been incredible. Basic, but incredible.
I want to move on to Brentford now and just, talking about managers who've done well. We've already said Keith Andrews and given him plaudits for the job that he's done, but it could be even better. They could go on to get European football. Would that be one of the biggest achievements in the club's history? Do you see them getting European football?
That's why Stuart's putting him for manager of the season because of the job he's done. He's been outstanding, to be fair. Keith Andrews, a brilliant job. And, they've got a great opportunity. They've got good players. And in particular, Thiago, I think he's been outstanding for them this season. Scoring the amount of goals he scored, Thiago, with the injury he's had previously, has been brilliant. And that is a manager getting the best out of Thiago as well. But look at this record for Andrew. That is brilliant, to be fair. He's at Brentford Football Club, and no one really fancied Brentford to finish in that top half. So to be where they are now and challenging for them European places was brilliant.
Yeah, just looking at that points per game, 1.45, 33 played and 13 won. Just lost 11 have Brentford so far this season. Big in the conversation for Europe. You mentioned Igor Thiago early on. We were praising Erling Haaland, and you said you need that 15-goal a season striker. Thiago has 21 goals already this season. Brentford's pipeline for strikers, they seem to be churning them out. They seem to have them on a conveyor belt.
Well, they have. Whether they've been fortunate this year that he's managed to come back from injury, as I say, the sales of players in the summer, they recoup money, but they lost a lot of goals out of their teams and a lot of assists. And the likes of Thiago's been absolutely magical in filling the void and driving Brentford on up the division, and they're a real threat as a football team. And him, how he holds the ball up as well as the goals he gets, he's got a physical presence to hold the ball.
Yeah, I think he's been outstanding. What a signing. He's now been capped by Brazil, and he scored on his debut as well. So he's been brilliant. He's living his dream at the moment, and he's a handful as well. The only thing is when he has seasons like this, look at his stats there: 33 appearances, 21 goals. And I'm not saying anything, but you put him in that Arsenal team, they probably they've won the Premier League by now, because he's clinical in that final third. He's outstanding. But it does suit him the way it's going at Brentford. You just hope they don't lose him in the summer, because it feels like when Brentford strikers get numbers like that, evidently they move on in the summer.
Yeah, I wonder if they don't already, have replacements, because when they lost Tony, people said the same thing. When they lost Wissam and Burmo, people said the same thing. And yet Brentford have come up again once more.
You know what they do?
Goal scorer.
They're one of the best teams that recruit in the Premier League. Them and Brighton, I think, are two outstanding teams that do it correct. I mean, I throw Bournemouth into it, but them two in particular, Brentford, their recruitment's magnificent. So full credit to them and to Keith Andrews as well.
We're pleased to know for those predictions. Is
Here
ready.
we go.
We're going to start with the lunchtime fixture here in the UK. Fulham versus Aston Villa. Stuart, you can go first.
1-1.
Oh.
Do you want me to expand on that?
I mean, that would be great.
I'm not going to, no. It'll be 1-1. Villa have got an eye on a semi-final in the week. Fulham are playing reasonably well at the moment. Tough team to beat at home. 1-1.
Clinton?
Yeah, that's a good shout. I was going to do that, but I don't want to go the same as Stuart, so I'm probably going to go 2-1 Fulham. I think Villa will be concentrating on the European games in the midweek, so I'll probably go 2-1 Fulham. I'll give you Harry Wilson a goal scorer as well.
Oh, it's upping the ante here. Yeah. What about Liverpool Crystal Palace?
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
Oh, tough game, but I think if it's at Sellers, it's a different result. I think Liverpool will beat Palace 2-1. I think they'll be too strong for Palace. I think Palace have a Europa Conference League semi-final on the Thursday night. They'll be concentrating on it, so I think, Liverpool 2-1.
I think Liverpool found a bit of confidence as of recent weeks. 3-0 Liverpool, sorry.
No, it's all right, don't worry. It's all right, we want the European trophy.
The game we just talked about now, West Ham Everton.
I think West Ham will win that 2-1.
Ooh, big call.
Yeah, it's massive. I actually I was going to go the other way, and then I hear Beto's injured. So now I'm going to go West Ham to win 2-1.
Wow,
You've copied me?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, leave him with 2-1. I'm going to change then. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh,
good shout.
So with different one.
Different one, yeah.
It's fair.
Okay, changing predictions. That's never happened here on Team Talks, by the way. Wow. What about Wolves Spurs? What you got for that?
I've got 2-1 Spurs. They have to win. So I'm going 2-1 Spurs, and I think it'll be their first win in 2026.
3-2 Wolves.
Oh. Stuart is just
I've just left it out there, haven't I?
He's just stirring the pot here. We can move on then, because you've just left it out. Arsenal, Newcastle. Stuart?
Arsenal win 2-0.
I changed my mind. I'm going to stay with it. Arsenal 1, Newcastle 1. I think they will drop points. I think Newcastle not been in good form. Arsenal might take them lightly, so I'm going to go 1-1.
Man United Brentford on Monday.
Oh, what a game. Man United win this 3-2. There'll be goals galore, but what a game. Yeah, 3-2 Man United.
What do you think, Stuart?
That's a good prediction, I think. 2-2 I'll go for. Definite goals, though.
Okay, I love that. I love that you've predicting goals in our future. That's the Monday night football. No Premier League on Sunday, because there are 2 FA Cup semi-finals to come. A place at Wembley again in the final up for grabs. What do you guys think is going to happen? Who are we seeing in the final? Because there's Man City, Southampton, and Chelsea versus Leeds.
Man City definitely in the final. That's not being disrespectful to Southampton. I just think Man City are too strong at the moment. And Stu, what do you think?
I think City will win probably 3-1, but I think Southampton will play extremely well and give a few scares maybe during the game.
What do you think about Chelsea and Leeds, especially given what's happened?
2 months ago, I would have said it's a Chelsea victory all day long. Now I'm going for Leeds.
Wow.
2-1 Leeds.
Wow.
I'm going 1-1, extra time, penalties. Leeds win on penalties.
You're being a bit extra there.
What do you do? You ask my opinion, I give you the opinion. I'm extra.
Okay, so you think Man City Leeds final?
Yeah, I think Man City Leeds final. But I'm not always right, Chelsea fans, so don't shout at the TV.
Wow, that'd be incredible for Leeds if that does happen.
Do you know if we get extra time and penalties,
You're messaging me.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely message you and say, Clinton's always right.
Put my phone off. Well, you did say tonight there's no way back for Sunderland, and you were right.
Yeah, it was 4-0 at half-time.
It's a bold prediction.
It's a bold prediction.
Of the Premier League games this weekend, with 1 minute that's left, which one are you guys most excited? Which one do you think is going to be the most talked about come Tuesday morning?
For me, it's going to be something's going to come out of Wolverhampton versus Tottenham.
Huh.
I agree with that one, but I also think Arsenal, Newcastle, massive.
Yeah. And Man United, Brentford as well.
Yeah, that's a big game. But you asked us what game it is, and that's the game we think. And that's what you think, Man United, Brentford, because you have good predictions as well.
Yeah, I didn't predict anything tonight, though. I think you guys have given us goals for the weekend to come, which I like. And so you can come back and do predictions another time. But for team talks and for the preview of the weekend, I think that's all we have time for. So thanks very much, Stuart. On your birthday, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Premier League Friday. Man United looks set to qualify for the Champions League next season. And that man there, well, Benjamin Sesko, he's been firing in the goals as they've climbed the table. We sat down with him this week and he told us why his captain, Bruno Fernandes, should win Premier League Player of the Year.
Benjamin, good to see you again, mate. How you been?
I've been good, thank you.
Nice. I remember the first time we spoke was at your start of your Manchester United journey. We're now at the sort of business end of the season. So how would you assess your first season in the Premier League?
It's been an amazing experience. Definitely the one to remember, especially of the way we've been playing. I think we did great. Still some games left, but I think we're doing great. We have a great spirit in the team. I'm learning a lot from the experienced player here, great players, great coaching staff. So far really. And also I like the city, so it's it's a win-win.
What surprised you the most about the Premier League? Obviously you've come to a new league, new country. Is there anything that surprised you or challenged you the most, would you say?
No, I spoke many times about it. Just the game itself, it's unbelievable quick.
Yeah.
Like every decision has to be clear and quick. I'm getting also a lot of instructions from the Bruno.
Are you?
Of course.
Is Bruno
every single training, after training, sometimes before training.
Really?
As always.
What is it like as a striker to be playing with someone who's that good in that much form right now?
Oh, you just have to use it, maximum. You just like whatever he tells you, you just
do it.
Yeah, don't think twice. And that's why I said I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to be around him.
Do you think he should win the Premier League Player of the Year award? Has he been that good for you, the standout player this season?
For me, he's great. He's my teammate, and of course I will stand out for him.
Just finally, what are your aims? What are you looking to achieve as a Manchester United player?
I would like to really achieve some trophies here. I think that would be something that you just can't forget it in your life at all. And of course, we need to do a lot for it, but I believe we have the capacity to do that.
Benjamin, always a pleasure chatting to you, mate, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Benjamin Sesko there. I mean, in and out of the side, has almost been called a bit of a super sub this year in his first year. Mark, I know you watched a lot of him in Germany as well. What have you made of his start to the Premier League?
Like, considering how limited sort of opportunities he's had, finding his feet, coming up to speed with the game. You know, Bruno Fernandes is a phenomenal player, someone that can provide a lot of assists, but it's also trying to have a better understanding of the way the game is played at the tempo. That can take time. I think we've seen a few players in the Premier League this season. We've seen it over many times. Players find it sometimes can take a little bit of time for him to adapt to it. There's no doubt he's got an eye for goal. Is he going to be prolific? Only time will tell. He hadn't sort of shown that really in Germany so much. But he's still, he's got a lot of ability. And I think United at the moment are just not, they haven't found a way to utilise his strengths.
Yeah. Do you think he's done enough yet already to be called, that focal point for Man United?
Probably not, no, because I think he'd be judged on goals, certainly in that position. So he probably hasn't done enough just yet. What I will say is I think Michael Carrick has managed him in a good way since he has come in. He's found form a little bit. There definitely is a lot to like about him, but I'm very much for Mark. I think it'll take time. I think next season, if they are still relying on him, I think he'll be much better next season. But yeah, if they have to sign somebody this year or stick with him, I don't think he's done enough personally.
And what about Michael Carrick? Have to ask. I mean, every Man United fan wondering whether or not he's going to be the man in charge next season. Do you think he keeps that job, or?
Yeah, why not? I think he's brought a stability to the club. They're winning football matches on a consistent basis. He's obviously got a good background team that he's brought in. I think that can be underestimated at times as well. You know, when a new manager comes in or a new coach, having the right team around them, and I think he has certainly found that at Manchester United. Obviously, he's brought Steve Holland in. I know Johnny Evans is in as well, and so yeah, why not give him it? I like to see good people doing well, and I know players who played under him at Middlesbrough who thought very, very highly of him, and the results speak volumes as well.
I think what's key is, like you said there, the people around him. So I think, Johnny Evans having that connection, Michael Carrick, the connections to the club. Steve Holland is a big one. I think his expertise, his experience in the Premier League, knows what it's like to work under big managers at big clubs and have success. I think that's invaluable experience.
Do you think it speaks a lot about Michael as a person as well? Because there's been so many moments, I think, during the season in his time there, with Steve Holland, where they're having long chats. And I guess sometimes to see a manager have that long chat, and you can tell that Michael's really listening to him. Do you think that speaks volumes of him?
I think that's really key. I think you need to bring people in. I think far too often in the past, managers have had their mates.
Yeah.
And basically just get told what they want to hear, right? And the mates just always back them up. The key is having someone who's going to challenge you, someone who's going to question you, push the boat out, and keep you on your toes all the time. And I think Steve Holland is not afraid to give his opinion. And I think there's so much expertise there and experience that it'd be crazy for someone not to listen. And Michael Carrick obviously has shown it. And the results speak for themselves.
Good backroom staff is key. Also key, having potentially the best player in the league in Bruno Fernandes. I mean, Sesko was talking about him there. I mean, 18 assists, 8 goals. Stuart, is he your player of the season?
He's certainly up there. He's certainly in the top 3 for sure. I think.
What's your top 3? Go for it.
Well, he would be in it. Declan Rice and Bernardo Silva, probably. Yeah. But having Bruno, I think, is. He's an outstanding footballer, and when you allow him to dictate games and run games, he's going to hurt you. We see the cross there. We often see him drifting into that position. He done it against Leeds and created the goal as well. And his eye for a pass is incredible. And I think when Manchester United do use him in the right way, he just runs the game.
Take us like Bruno. How hard is it to? Because he just feels like he floats into any position that he wants.
Well, I just talked about him getting on the ball and making. When I, under Marcelo Bielsa, we had the man mark. The opposition, and my job was tasked with. Well, in behind, he knew. He wasn't just running for the sake of running. The relationship that he had with other players, so the timing of it was so difficult for me to pick up. So,
it's not just to get away from you; it's to genuinely generate something.
Yeah, I think if you watch back the games where Manchester United beat us, especially at Old Trafford, he scored some goals from running in behind our centre backs as well. So he's got a lot of different dimensions to his game. But yeah, for sure, he's up there for player of the season for me.